My husband traveled. His parents came with his pregnant second wife. 3 days later, he died. Now they blame me. My name is Olivia. I was married for 12 years. 12 years is a long time. It is long enough to learn somebody's breathing when they sleep. Long enough to know the sound of their footsteps. Long enough to know when they are happy, even when they are trying to hide it. I married my husband when I was 20. His name was Ryan. He was tall and neat. He spoke softly, like a man who wanted peace. When he laughed, his eyes would bend like small moons. People liked him quickly. In the beginning, life was not sweet. We lived in one small room behind my auntie's shop. The room had one window that did not close well. When it rained, cold air would sneak in, like a thief. When the sun was hot, the room would boil like soup. But we were young. We were hopeful. Ryan would hold my hands and say, "Olivia, one day we will live in a fine house. You will not cry again." I believed him because his voice sounded sure. We suffered together. Sometimes, we would eat rice with only salt and pepper. Sometimes, we would share one loaf of bread for 2 days. When Ryan got a small job at a building site, he would come home with cement on his shoes and dust on his face. I would wash his shirt in a bucket and scrub until my fingers hurt. We prayed together too. Every morning, before the world got loud, we would kneel on a small mat. Ryan would pray in a strong voice. I would whisper my own prayer under my breath. "God," I would say, "please help us. Please do not let us break." And somehow, we did not break. Slowly, life began to change. Ryan started learning a skill. He learned how to buy and sell building materials. He met men who gave him small contracts. I started selling food in the evenings, hot rice, beans, and stew. My small food pot was not big, but it was honest work. One day, after many years, we moved into a better apartment. Not a mansion, but a real 2-bedroom flat with tiles. The first day we entered, I turned around slowly, touching the walls like I was dreaming. "This is ours," Ryan said, smiling. I laughed and cried at the same time. That was the kind of life we had. Hard, but full of hope. Heavy, but still holding love inside it. People who saw us later did not know our beginning. They only saw the new curtains, the clean chairs, the small generator, and Ryan's better clothes. They did not see the nights we slept hungry. They did not see the days I cried quietly in the toilet so Ryan would not feel ashamed. That was why, when something strange happened, my heart did not understand it quickly. Because in my mind, Ryan was my partner. My best friend. The man who carried the same suffering with me. So how could he hide something big from me? It started on a normal morning. The sun was bright. The air smelled like dust and early cooking smoke. I was in the kitchen, stirring pap. Ryan was in the bedroom, moving around. He came out wearing clean shirt and dark trousers. "Are you going somewhere?" I asked. He did not look at me at first. He was adjusting his belt, but his hands were moving too fast. "Yes," he said. "I'm traveling." "Traveling?" I repeated. "To where?" He cleared his throat. "Abuja. For a contract." My spoon stopped moving. I looked at him properly. "Abuja?" I asked. "Since when?" "You didn't tell me." He smiled, but the smile did not reach his eyes. "It came suddenly," he said. "Good news. Big money." My heart jumped a little, the way it always did when he mentioned big money. Big money meant school fees would be easier. Big money meant we could finally fix the leaking ceiling in the guest room. "When are you leaving?" I asked. "Now," he said quickly. "Now." I felt a small stone drop into my stomach. "But you haven't even eaten." I will eat on the road, he said. He picked up a small travel bag. It was already packed. That was another strange thing. Ryan was not a man who packed early. He usually waited till the last minute, complaining and looking for socks. But this time, the bag was ready, zipped, and standing by the door like it had been waiting. I wiped my hands on my wrapper and walked closer. Ryan, I said softly, is everything okay? He looked at me then. His eyes were bright, but not with happiness. They looked like someone who was running, even though he was standing still. Yes, he said. Everything is fine. He stepped close and kissed my forehead. The kiss was quick. Too quick. Then he held my shoulders as if he wanted to steady me. Take care of the house, he said. I will call you. I nodded, but something inside me was not calm. Will you stay long? I asked. Just a few days, he said. Maybe a week. He turned the door handle. I followed him to the door, my heart beating faster than normal. At the gate, his car was already outside. The engine was running. How did he even move the car out without me hearing? Ryan did not like to start the car early. He always complained about fuel. But today, the car was ready like a thing planned. He opened the car door. I wanted to ask more questions, but the words stuck in my throat. I did not want to look like a troublesome wife. I did not want to spoil the good news with fear. So, I forced a smile. Safe journey, I said. Thank you, he replied. Then he drove away fast. Not like a man going to work. Like a man escaping. I stood at the gate until the car turned the corner and vanished. When I entered the house again, the air felt different. The rooms looked the same, but my heart felt like someone had switched off a light inside it. I tried to distract myself. I cleaned the sitting room. I arranged the pillows. I swept the floor. I washed plates that were already clean. Anything to stop my thoughts. After some hours, I sat down and checked my phone. No message. No call. Maybe he is on the road, I told myself. But my fingers were already sweating. Then, before the sun even went down, I heard a car horn outside. Peep. Peep. I stood up quickly. Visitors. I wasn't expecting anyone. I walked to the window and peeped through the curtain. My heart stopped. It was Ryan's parents. His father, tall and serious, coming out of the car. His mother, heavy and proud, stepping down slowly like a queen. I quickly opened the door and put on a welcoming smile. Mommy. Daddy. I called. I was confused, but still happy to see them. Maybe they came to pray for Ryan's journey. Maybe they came to give me advice. Maybe something good was happening. I rushed forward, ready to kneel and greet. But as they walked closer, I saw someone behind them. A woman. A young woman. She moved slowly, holding her big belly with both hands, like the baby inside was heavy. Her eyes were red, like she had been crying, or like she had not slept. She wore a simple gown, but it looked expensive. Her hair was neatly fixed. Her lips were dry. I stared at her. My mouth opened, but no sound came out. Ryan's mother entered my house without greeting me properly. She did not smile. She did not even look around. She walked straight into my sitting room and sat down. Then she looked up at me like she was about to announce something. Olivia, she said, her voice hard, don't shout. Don't disgrace yourself. My heart began to shake. What is going on? I whispered. She pointed at the pregnant woman. This, she said, is your husband's second wife. My knees went weak. The whole room turned cold. And I knew my life had just changed. For a long moment, nobody spoke. The words second wife hung in the air like smoke. I felt them enter my ears and sink into my chest. My heart beat so fast I could hear it in my head. Second wife. I whispered again, like saying it softly would change the meaning. Ryan's mother looked at me with sharp eyes. Her face was calm, too calm. It was the face of someone who believed she was right. Yes, she said. Don't pretend like you don't understand English. I held the back of the chair so I would not fall. My eyes moved slowly to the pregnant woman. She stood near the door, her head bent. One hand rested on her big stomach. The other hand held her small bag tightly. Her eyes did not meet mine. She looked scared, but there was something else too. Something like pride. Like someone who had won something important. What is your name? I asked her, my voice shaking. She did not answer. Ryan's mother answered for her. Her name is Ella. Ella. The name sounded soft, but my heart felt like it was tearing. I laughed suddenly. Not because I was happy. Because my mind was breaking. This is a joke, I said. It has to be a joke. Ryan would never do this to me. Not after 12 years. Ryan's father cleared his throat. Olivia, he said, sit down. I did not sit. Where is my husband? I asked. Why didn't he come with you? Why didn't he tell me himself? Ryan's mother waved her hand like she was chasing a fly. He is busy, she said. He traveled for work. That is why we are here. To do what? I asked. To settle things, she replied. I felt my chest tighten. Settle what things? She leaned back on the sofa and crossed her legs slowly. You are a married woman, she said. You should understand these things. A man can marry more than one wife. My eyes filled with tears. Yes, I said. But not like this. Not in secret. Not after suffering together. Ella shifted her feet. She rubbed her belly slowly. I looked at her again. How long? I asked. This time, she answered. Her voice was low. 2 years, she said. 2 years. That meant when Ryan and I were praying together, he was lying. When we were planning our future, he was hiding another life. My head spun. Does he love you? I asked her. She did not answer. Ryan's mother laughed. Love, she said. What does love feed? What matters is children. You have been married for 12 years. Where are the children? That question hit me like a slap. I swallowed hard. It is not my fault, I said. We prayed. We went to hospital. We tried. And now God has answered, she replied quickly, pointing at Ella's belly. So, accept it. Accept it. Just like that. Like accepting rain. Like accepting dust. Like accepting pain. I felt hot and cold at the same time. You brought her into my house, I said slowly. Without warning. Without respect. Ryan's mother's eyes turned hard. This house belongs to my son, she said. Not you. The room went silent. I looked around. The chairs we bought together. The curtains I saved money to buy. The floor I cleaned every day. Not mine. After 12 years. I cried. After all my suffering. After cooking, praying, waiting, believing. My voice broke. Ryan's mother stood up. If you cannot accept her, she said loudly, you can leave. Leave. The word echoed in my head. Leave the house I built. Leave the life I struggled for. Leave my marriage. My hands began to tremble. I looked down at them, shocked by how weak they looked. Ryan's father stood quietly. He did not speak. He did not defend me. He did not stop his wife. Ella wiped her eyes slowly. I didn't plan for this, she said softly. I looked at her sharply. You didn't plan? I asked. Did you not know he was married? She kept quiet. That was answer enough. Ryan's mother clapped her hands once. Enough talking, she said. Ella will stay here. Stay here. I shouted. Yes, she replied. This is her husband's house too. I felt my legs give way. I sat down heavily on the chair. My heart was beating so loud it felt like it would jump out. That night, I could not eat. I locked myself in the bedroom. I sat on the bed and stared at the wall. I called Ryan. No answer. I sent messages. No reply. I called again. Still nothing. The house felt strange. It was my house, but it no longer felt safe. Outside, the sky grew dark. Clouds gathered like they were angry. Thunder roared in the distance. I hugged my knees and rocked slowly. Ryan, I whispered. Why? Sleep did not come. Every small sound made me jump. The ticking of the clock sounded loud. The wind against the window sounded like crying. The next day came. Then another night. Then another day. For 3 days, I did not sleep. I kept calling my husband. His phone stayed silent, like it was dead. On the third night, rain poured heavily. Thunder shook the sky like drums. I sat on the bed, hugging myself, listening to my heart cry. I felt alone. Completely alone. And I did not know that something even worse was already on its way. The third morning came slowly. My eyes were red and swollen. My body felt weak, like I had been carrying a heavy load all night. I stood up from the bed, but my legs shook. I checked my phone again. Still nothing. No call. No message. It felt like my husband had disappeared from the world. I went to the sitting room quietly. Ryan's mother was already awake, sitting straight on the sofa like nothing had happened. Ella sat on a small chair beside her, rubbing her belly gently. Nobody greeted me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to ask 1,000 questions. But my mouth felt dry. I went back to the bedroom and locked the door. That was when I heard it. Bang. 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 The knock was loud and hard, like anger hitting wood. My heart jumped into my throat. I stood still, listening. Bang. Bang. Olivia, someone called from outside. Open the door. I walked slowly to the door, my hands cold. When I opened it, I saw neighbors standing there. Men and women from the street. Their faces were strange, tight and scared, like they were holding bad news. One man stepped forward. He was breathing slowly, like he was choosing his words. Olivia, he said softly, please be strong. Strong. My heart began to race. What is it? I asked. He looked down at the ground. Olivia, he said again. Your husband is dead. The word stopped. I felt like the ground disappeared under my feet. My ears rang loudly. I could not hear anything else. Dead? I whispered. No. That is not true. I laughed, but it sounded broken. He just traveled, I said. You people are joking. But nobody laughed. A woman beside him wiped her eyes. I'm sorry, she said. I felt a sharp pain in my chest, like something had cut me open. I screamed. A loud, painful scream came out of me before I could stop it. My legs gave way, and I fell to the floor. Everything went dark. When I opened my eyes again, I was lying on the sofa. Water was sprinkled on my face. People were standing around me. My head hurt. Where is he? I asked weakly. Where is my husband? Nobody answered. Then suddenly, a loud voice filled the room. She did it. I turned my head slowly. Ryan's mother was standing, her eyes wide, her finger pointing straight at me. She killed him, she screamed. This woman killed my son. The room exploded. People began to talk at once. What? How? Is it true? I sat up quickly, shocked. What are you saying? I cried. What are you saying? Ryan's mother walked closer to me. She poisoned him, she shouted. She was angry because of the second wife. My mouth opened, but no sound came out at first. Poison. Killed. I shook my head hard. No. No. That is a lie. I shouted. I haven't even seen him since he traveled. But nobody listened. Some people stepped back from me, like I was dangerous. One woman whispered, I knew it. She looked angry. Another said, You never know what women can do. My heart broke again. Ryan's father stood quietly in one corner. His eyes were on the floor. He said nothing. I crawled forward and held Ryan's mother's legs. Mommy, please, I cried. Please don't do this to me. I loved your son. I suffered with him for 12 years. She kicked my hands away. Get away from me, she shouted. Wicked woman. I turned to Ella. She stood there silently, holding her belly, tears falling from her eyes. Ella, I begged, please tell them the truth. Tell them I did nothing. She looked at me, then looked away. She said nothing. That silence hurt more than words. Men from the street began to talk about police. We should report her, one said. Yes, another replied. Let the police decide. Fear wrapped around my heart like rope. Police. Prison. For a crime I did not commit. I stood up slowly, my whole body shaking. I am innocent, I said loudly. I swear with my life. I did not kill my husband. But my voice sounded small in the noisy room. Ryan's mother laughed bitterly. You are lying, she said. God will punish you. I felt tired. Tired of crying. Tired of begging. Tired of explaining. I walked back into the bedroom and closed the door gently. I sat on the floor and leaned against the wall. This was the same room where I prayed with my husband. The same room where we planned our future. The same room where I waited for his calls. Now it felt like a prison. Tears ran down my face quietly. God, I whispered, you know the truth. Outside, voices continued. Accusations. Anger. Pain. I hugged myself tightly. I had lost my husband. I had lost my marriage. And now, I was losing my name. But deep inside my heart, something small but strong stayed alive. The truth. And I knew, even if the whole world blamed me, the truth would one day speak for me. They took me to the police station. I was scared, but I did not lie. I told them everything, how Ryan traveled, how his parents came with the pregnant woman, how I never saw him again. I showed them my phone. All the missed calls. All the messages with no reply. The police listened. They asked questions. Then they investigated. 2 days later, the truth came out. Ryan did not die because of me. He had an accident on the road the same day he traveled. His car hit another vehicle at night. He died before reaching the hospital. There was no poison. There was no fight. There was no murder. The police cleared my name. When Ryan's mother heard the truth, she could not look at me. Her mouth stayed closed. Her eyes dropped to the ground. People who pointed fingers at me became silent. Some came to apologize. Some were ashamed. I stood tall. I cried for my husband, but I did not cry in shame anymore. The house was given to me by law, because I was the legal wife. Ryan's family left quietly. I stayed. I healed. I started again. I learned something important. A woman who survives lies, betrayal, and blame is stronger than anyone who tried to break her. And in the end, the truth gave me my victory. Moral lesson. Those who remain loyal to what is right will never lose, even when the road is painful. Before you go, remember, more timeless tales await. Subscribe, like, and share AB Folktale Stories, where wisdom lives forever.